Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So welcome back to Real Economy Trucking Euro Style. So here in Euro Truck Simulator, just trying to move forward with a career using real economy mods. So things get paid a lot less. Still making a little bit of a profit, but it has been falling. So hoping that we can stay positive, that is one of the challenges here as well. Alright, so I am here in Debrecen. We're trying to get down, you know, if we can, to West Balkans and things like that. Interesting that Romania seems a bit of a challenge. Alright, so the challenge is, you know, basically Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Serbia, Montenegro, Kosovo, North Macedonia, and Albania are really, you know, so it's kind of this space here, which is West Balkans. Okay, so I'm going to try to take this load, and that will get me into Croatia. Should, so we'll see. My issue is I better check that I don't have to rest. So that's what I always make a mistake on. So let me go look at that first. Okay, I do not. So I am good. It is also interesting that this is a hazmat load. This one also is fragile, but it's actually less pay. So, you know, the most I can make is with this. So I'm going to go ahead and go with this. Same locations, either way. But yeah, I do remember now I had ended the episode and gone, you know, right there. I'm thinking, oh no, okay, wow. So wait a minute, where do I need to go? Okay, so BASF is behind me. All right, that's what I thought. So let me turn around. And that will help because obviously we're right here. And, you know, part of the challenge has been that I've got 56 minutes to pick up this load. Well, actually, I think that was the other load, but either way, it was pretty tight.
Ready to turn left.
But this at least lets us pick this up and get moving quickly, because otherwise it just really is going to make for a long episode. As it is, I'm sure this is going to be a bit. But, whoa, he doesn't have a stop sign. So that was bad move, bad driving on my part. Alright, so he's BASF, so it's the farther location here.
We are finished.
Alright. So we are grabbing hot chemicals.
Let's do this.
So let's go find this. There it is. Nice blue BASF tanker. So pretty nice. I'll just try to use the mirrors. It's less loud that way. So I do apologize. This is coming out a little bit later than it should have been. I'm just finding I don't have enough hours in the day for all the simming I'm trying to do. So, but you know, we are doing what we can, but there we go. BASF, the chemical company. So, hence why we're hauling chemicals. So, I'm going to lower that between 500 and 600 kilometers. So, it's going to be a good group there. And more importantly, like, we just made our payment, I believe, for the loan. so it should be okay.
Turn left.
Alright. I was gonna assume we're gonna go left, but I wasn't certain. So
Get ready
obviously
to turn
wanted
right.
to do that, and we'll have to get out of here. And then we will
Turn right.
take this there. But yeah, my intent is to drive this, edit it up for you folks, and get it up there. And the nice thing is with the truck simulator videos, I kind of just leave them as they are unless I have to pause or do something unexpected, or obviously if something explodes or blows up and doesn't work. But that's pretty rare. So the nice thing is it just, you know, other than the actual time to render, upload, and publish, I can usually turn this around pretty quickly. But I really should have done this yesterday on July 23rd to kind of stick with the every 8 days that I have had on the channel when I'm doing truck simulator content regularly. Obviously, Euro Truck was away for quite a long time as I was waiting for ProMods to update. You know, and I'm definitely thinking about, like, what am I going to do when the next things update? Because at this point, Euro Truck's getting not quite the same, but similar to American Truck Simulator, where they've got a couple DLCs in the works at this point. We've got Greece, and then we've got the, I think, Nordic countries is what they're calling it, up north.
Get ready to turn right.
So, you know, the likelihood is then they're going to have stuff available, and then it will
Turn
obviously break ProMods again. And if I wait, now that I understand how it went, I mean, that was 6 months. I really would prefer not to do that. So what I'll probably be doing is playing on older versions of Truck Simulator until a new version of ProMods is available, but then I can continuously keep going. I mean, that means whatever else SES releases, obviously, we're not going to have access to here. But American Truck Simulator, I'm doing the Back to Basics series, which basically just uses official content. So with that, I can update more regularly. So anything that happens there, you know, for the most part, as far as gameplay, we'll be able to see. The things that obviously we wouldn't and would be delayed would be if there's like specific content. You know, they add a new truck type or something. And it's not as if I jump into new truck types regularly. Oh, come on. Dude, I have my turn signal on. What are you doing? I'm having to be aggressive here. That guy is not being nice. So, waiting for the light. I'm hoping we can make it, because we are on regular timing, regular truck simulator timing here. So no mods like we have in American Truck Simulator for more realistic light signals. But, alright, we're good. But they flip pretty fast, so yeah, you can see it looks like behind me he's already stopped. He didn't turn. So I'm sure the light turned red as we were going through it. Thank goodness we didn't get flagged, because I don't have money for fines. That's what has been killing me lately, honestly. I had to repair the truck. I had to do a bunch of stuff, and that has just chewed up my weekly profit. Alright. So we are now here, and we can go 85. So we will do that, because we've got a long way to go. We're only 22 kilometers into this journey.
Keep right,
so
and then turn right.
Let's enjoy us some Europe here. Alright, and we're immediately turning. Wow. So I've commented many, many times, I'm sure. This is actually a gloriously wide exit ramp. Normally, I've just been amazed with how tight the interchanges are in Europe. You know, I've been over to Europe a couple times, but mainly in Germany. and just didn't have an opportunity. It was for business, so I didn't have an opportunity to really do any kind of sightseeing or really get around. So I have very little real-world exposure to, I guess, all things Europe. I mean, if we're being honest, but specifically the focus that would matter in this series is the road network and how things work. And again, when I was over there, at this point, it's been well over 20 years ago. So things may have been vastly different then than they were, than they are now. Alright. So we're on the M3, but we're basically backtracking. Part of the issue, I think, is I created my own issue here, is I was assuming like Romania and all of that was part of West Balkans, but I think those are more the Black Sea and all of that. So I was heading over this way, so the last load I took last episode kind of brought me in this direction. I probably could have already been in Croatia otherwise. I just don't know. Well, I know I was not aware. So I actually did some looking before I started this episode, like which countries are actually in the DLC, and then that's where I was able to get that information. So yes, I think we've been to Budapest, but then I think once we get beyond Budapest, we'll be in places we haven't seen. But the nice thing with these is, you know, even though you're kind of backtracking over things, until you do it a lot, it's still new. It's still interesting. Now, we should be able to make it before resting again, because I think it said it should take about 8 hours. Because, again, we have got whatever the fastest delivery is. I think it's, like, urgent. So, I really have to just keep the wheels rolling and keep moving and deliver this without resting. Otherwise, I'm going to get a penalty. Excuse me. I'm going to get a penalty, and that would be a problem. Is this a toll? Maybe it's just a speed cam. I think I saw a big boxy camera up in the upper right. I was thinking it was some fancy overhead toll like we've finally started to add into the US. But almost 100 kilometers from when we left town. So clipping along, thank goodness, because otherwise, you know, I try to keep these 30 minutes as the target. An hour is really the targeted exception, but beyond that would be a bit much. But this will be good because it'll again give me an indication of what the longest distance really is at. We've got 3/4 of a tank, so I don't think there's a need to get off. I mean, there's certainly something to be said, unlike the US. Although we don't have gas stations on the side of the road like this too often, except on toll roads, where obviously exiting would require you to pay the toll, and then getting back on would require you to pay another toll. So then they build service stations into the interstate system in the US, but otherwise you are getting off, and they're, you know, near the interstate usually, depending on what area you're at. There's certainly exits where you have to drive for miles because you're in a very sparsely populated area. But anyway, the convenience here is hard to beat, as opposed to, hey, I've got to go find a station somewhere. But I think I should be fine. But yeah, my skill points I can certainly use to get, you know, longer distance jobs, but I think those exceed what my real target would be. So, you know, but what I want to see is, like, if this is mainly highway, and it may not be, because basically we were going over and then we were kind of going south, so it's possible once we stop heading west that then we will be on roads and it'll be a little bit slower. But either way, what I want to see is you know, if I get this done in, say, 45 minutes, I might go up the next skill point amount, and even though that'll give me trips at the far end that are far too large, you know, I can start experimenting with, you know, maybe 700-kilometer jobs and be like, yeah, I can get those done in an hour. And so every once in a while, if I want to try to take a long load or whatever, that might be worthwhile. Alright, that bus is exiting. He is going pretty quick. I can't really move over, but I'm going to try because otherwise I know the AI and it's going to run into me and I'm not going to be happy because it'll be expensive. Okay.
Keep right and then turn right.
No. It's kind of ending. Question is,
Turn right.
probably have to slow down. Yeah, it's a 50. Just to be safe. Sometimes I barrel through. I do that in real life too in my car. It's just, my wife was just upset with me the other day. You know, there's a entrance we regularly take, and our speed limit's like 60 on that stretch of road. And it's a typical exit from a high-speed roadway, because it's not off the interstate, it's off of a different road, but it's built like an interstate. So it says it's 45, but I've found I can easily take it at, you know, like the 67 that I tend to drive at with my cruise control. And so I try to not have anyone in front of me, because then they slow down and, you know, I just get irritated and whatever. And so she gets upset with me and says I have no patience. And I'm like, well, it's not really that. I just, like, I know I can keep moving, and why slow down? And then she's like, because the speed limit on the, you know, it's an exit ramp, and the speed limit is 45, and not everyone is crazy like you to go. But now when I had like an SUV, it was the Hyundai Santa Fe that we had, I could not do that at the speed because the center of gravity is higher. But with a car that's closer to the ground, I found you can actually do that. It's a pretty good sweeping turn, not these tight curves that we see here in Europe. Alright, so as I was thinking, I think now we're off and we're going to be heading on roads. So, good news is it's a red light right now, so that I might be able to then get a green light and go. Alright, I'm going to wait where I can clearly see it instead of trying to squeeze it in between my post and my mirrors. I call it the A post, but I don't know if it's the same in trucks as it is in cars. I mean, logically it should be. That cargo partner, I wonder if he was literally going the same route and now he's continuing on, or if that's just another truck from that. I will say, another thing I really enjoy with Euro Truck Simulator and having the real companies mods here as well, obviously in Europe there are a lot more companies, varieties, than there are in the US. So it's not uncommon to see trucks from the same carriers relatively regularly, especially some of the big ones in real life I'm talking about, but even in game. There's only so many that they have, but because per country and per region there's just so many things, and you know, again, people have had so long, because I think Euro Truck Simulator is older than American Truck Simulator. They've had so long to add content to the game that we've just got almost an unlimited supply, it seems. Like the two companies that just passed me as I was at the light, I don't recall ever seeing. I may have, but there's just so many that it just always seems new. But yeah, this looks like we're gonna... Oh, I better slow down, because I can only go 70, and otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna flip this truck, and as it is, this is already a bit quick, it seems, but it's kind of working. But we're gonna stop and turn shortly, so it's like we're kind of headed to Budapest, but I'm sure this road continues, and then we're being forced to turn right. It looks like we might be getting on another interstate type thing,
Right.
or another high-speed motorway is probably the better way to say it over here in Europe.
Turn right.
Because I don't think they call them highways. They certainly don't call them interstates, because they're not states. If anything, they're intercountries, but I've never heard that term, so I don't think that's what they use. My goodness. There's a lot of solid traffic here. What's he doing? He's turning, okay. So I'm going to take advantage of that and hope... Whoa, I almost swung too wide. But yeah, in theory, it looks like I could be getting on here. Now, we could just be crossing through and not doing that. Now, it said Budapest was this way, but I don't know if we're circling around. Alright, and again, I could be going straight on and then be asked to go to the left. I don't know. But the nice thing is we should be able to... we should have several more hours of daylight. And so yeah, when the yellow lights up on my GPS is discoverable like that, I'm almost positive that we're looking at ProMods type content, because it tends to be that the SCS content gets discovered in pieces even on segments like that. It doesn't do the whole interchange all at once. So, thinking this is a ProMods section, but I am just always blown away by the quality of ProMods Europe. And I will say it till I'm blue in the face. Like, this is the testament to, I think, what you're able to achieve when you have longevity of a platform and you're not releasing a new game every few years. So anybody who's watched the Farming Simulator content, you know we're in the throes of Farming Simulator 25 coming out, and
Right.
that whole reboot that basically happens to the whole ecosystem that I really don't enjoy. You know, and I get people say, oh, but, you know, this could look better if it was in a new graphics engine or whatever. And as I've always said, it looks pretty darn good right now. So, I don't need better. I like it. And I like what this gives us is just this vast whole network of Europe that is enhanced even beyond what SCS provides.
Turn right.
So, really, really cool. I don't understand the turn right thing, I mean, but anyway. So, a lot of spinning around. I think we're gonna hit 300, there we go. So, more than halfway. Now, in theory, we're even higher speed than we were before. But, oh no, it went down to 70 again. Definitely struggling a bit up this hill. I didn't think we were hauling anything that heavy. Not even going to try to read the signs, because I don't think I'd be anywhere near correct. I'm not even sure where we're at, in all honesty. I want to say we're in Hungary still, so that it'd be Hungarian that we're looking at. But I'm not sure. Because Budapest, I know, is in Hungary, and obviously we just kind of left that space, so... Oh, now it did speed up, so let me go up to 85, but we are on an actual high-speed motorway, or roadway, or whatever. Nobody's really given me info in the comments or anything of what is it typically called. I suppose I could Google it and try to look it up, but I keep forgetting, and there's just always something else when I have some free time to go and do. Some of the issue is, there's some little things, and I say little, but they still take hours and hours. I've looked at some things like mini motorways, mini metro, and Master Plan Tycoon. They've kind of had I don't know that they were puzzle games, Puzzle Fest, something like that ran for several weeks, and so there's been stuff that I've picked up, but they're not really Sims per se, and so to me they don't fit with the theme of the channel, so I'm not including them. If people want to see it, I suppose I could show it, but it would be very hard to do videos on it because they're kind of intense. It's like doing Rush Hour and Rail Route. Like, I always had a hard time trying to do that in videos, and so I basically tried and stopped very quickly with that, and any Rail Route stuff I do is kind of the slower, more sim-like thing. And Master Plan Tycoon is maybe a little more conducive because you are just kind of building out networks and this and that, but don't know that it would be a huge, compelling view. So it has not risen and has not felt to me like something that was worthy of putting videos together. And I don't think any of those are new. So it's not as if I'd be showing people something they hadn't seen before. And they're simple enough that even a how-to or whatever is not necessary. That's the thing I like about them. They're minimalist, yet strangely involved little games, and they all were pretty inexpensive, under $10, sometimes under $10 for a couple of them together. So like the Mini Metro and Mini Motors were from the same company, and basically I think they had this thing on sale because they were releasing Mini Motors, and so they had a bundle that was pretty hard to resist, and I've really enjoyed that one. They have daily challenges in it, which is kind of cool. Again, very similar to the Rush Hour set, although Rush Hour I think tends to be weekly in Rail Route. It's hard to keep up with either of them, but it's those type of things that take some time. So I spent a good amount of time yesterday doing some of the Master Plan Tycoon stuff, and thought I didn't need a truck series for 2 days, and then this morning when I was putting up and updating the PGA content, I realized, oh shoot, I should have had a Euro truck on the 23rd. So that's why you're getting it, because it's not as if I didn't want to do it. I just had a bad plan, so thought I had more time. And then I will try to make sure I get the ATS one out. Would be the 27th, I guess. The Olympics will start by then. We'll see if viewership on the channel slows down for those 2-3 weeks. My simming may slow down because I know I'll probably be watching a good amount of the Olympics, but we'll see. Kind of watch the marquee events more than anything, so maybe it'll just be watching the primetime coverage, and that'll be good enough. But especially like on the weekend where I normally would have more sim time, that may be where things get cut into quite a bit. So don't be surprised if things are a little slower. I know they're quite slow already just because of the reality of things. But I'm still trying to I want to do some more Project High Rise. I want to do more Farm Manager World. I've enjoyed all those. It's just at this point I've got so many things to juggle. It's getting difficult to keep everything with somewhat reasonable flow. I mean, heck, I haven't even done a Tower Simulator 3 day in the life in probably a month. So it's been a little crazy. But yeah, the virtual airline pieces, that a lot of which, again, don't make the channel. You know, we were struggling with the reporting system. I think, I don't know that it was yesterday, I think it was Tuesday, 2 days ago. And so that basically chewed up the entire day, where I was thinking I was going to do a 3 or a 4 hour flight that I needed to do from Dallas to Miami. And then I basically was waiting for responses from the virtual airline folks of like, can I fly when this thing appears not to be registering, or do I need to wait, and is anyone aware of the problem we're facing? And you know, so before I knew it, the whole day got away from me. All right, well, crossing the border without much ado, other than we've crossed the border. So interesting. But the thing is, I think we're leaving Hungary, not going into it. But I don't know. I saw the flag, so I'm thinking I'm going to have to exit here. But it hasn't said. All right, there we go. Like, it hasn't said anything, so now I don't know. But we are exiting.
Exit right.
And that's good. So we did this all during the day. So you got to see all the beautiful scenery along with me. So hopefully that was enjoyable. It just happens far too infrequently in this series, the way things work out, because being real time, I'm a lot more reluctant to just do what I'd call double sleep, which is basically, you know, make sure that I'm available in the daytime, but because then I really won't make enough money. I mean, I'm pretty much needing to keep this truck moving as much as possible, because otherwise it causes some significant issues. Alright, well, I guess I'll put the cruise back on. It's further than I thought. I really was expecting a very immediate exit, but flag's not here, so... Are we going to Osijek, or is it something else? I do not remember. I'm bad at paying attention to that. I'm like, the GPS will get me there. Alright, well, now I'm guessing we're flipping into regular. Oh, no, I guess it is still high speed.
Get ready to turn left.
Alright. So, my guess is then we are going to Osijek. And perfect timing. So,
Turn left.
let's get in here. I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. There's the arrow to guide me a little bit better. And now we see our delivery point. Whoop, I think. No, I had my lights on, so I'm okay. Like, I do not want a ticket for it getting dark. Although at this point, wow, it's, yeah, 8 p.m., so almost 8:30. And good news is there is a rest point there, so I can kind of do the same thing where I can deliver and then I can rest, and then I'm set for my next start, and I don't have to do that at some point. And given that this is a bit longer, I may not. I don't know, we'll see how things go. See how well I park, how fast I park. It's not too terribly long. We're just a little over half an hour. So this, again, is kind of my point. I mean, we've gone 543 kilometers. And at this point, it's like, could I go to 700 and still do it easily within an hour? So it might be worth expanding out a little bit. A little bit of soccer, or as it would be called here, football. Alright. So,
Go straight.
very nice little town. Alright. Tomislav. And the good news is it's so small that there's no stoplights so far. So we'll see if we hit one soon. Nope.
Turn left.
And there it
then
is.
turn right.
It's Sis Kema. Which again, good that we're hauling. Whoa, really? Right there? Really? Okay. Well, let me look and make sure. No. Oh boy. Don't do this, man. Is this correct? Let me look. Yeah, it looks like I have to go that way. I think I do. I think it's just telling me turn right. Yeah, I can't go through that building there. Goodness. It just freaked me out because... Now, again, let me look here, though. Alright, well, maybe it's here, because this sign... Like, this is clearly a big sign, so...
It was a nice ride.
Alright, well, it didn't yell at me or anything, so I'm gonna assume. So maybe I couldn't have done it the other way. The question is, where am I putting this thing? Well, maybe I could have gone the other way. Alright, so is it back there? So I'm thinking I can, like, pull in. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to pull in this way. Again, this is what I have just really enjoyed about Euro Truck. Because the reality of the world here is space is at a premium in Europe, a lot more than it is in the US, and so every square inch is kind of jam-packed with stuff sometimes. Yeah, I'm scraping along the curb there. Yeah, I guess I could have come in there too. That's cool though. You don't have a lot of double entrance things in American Truck Simulator either. I'm not that tired, come on. Giving me that view, like that, you know, I'm getting tunnel vision because I'm so tired. But again, I struggle with the short wheelbase trailers that are required because everything is so compact and tight. You know, and I think the reality is too, there's fewer people in some cases. I don't know, I may be totally wrong on that, so if I am, please don't get offended. But, you know, so they may just need less of stuff, and so the smaller trailers work as well. Although, again, I mean, we've got plenty of Siskema tankers sitting around here, so... And I wonder, like, if I was taking a load immediately, if those are both available. I was like, is it gonna stop? But there we go. Alright. So, a little under 40 minutes, it looks like. Let's see what we got. 1,300, 1,000 experience, so we didn't quite level up. But good news is we went from 1,600 to 2,900. So that gave us some solid profit. I'm glad things are going in the opposite direction, because I think what ended up happening is one of my drivers and I finished a job at the same day, and so that kind of buffed up the company earnings. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to that rest spot that I saw. Let's see. Oh, I can go this way. I'm going to go out the other entrance. Why not? You know, we'll get everything kind of discovered. Let me get back in the cab. That'll help me not driving like an idiot, because I am not liking the perspective. It's kind of like trying to do iRacing from the follow camera. That would be a bit of a mess. But yeah, if I go here, we've got a rest spot tucked away, and then, you know, the nice thing too is that'll get us a little closer in the morning, but what that probably means is then we're setting ourselves up for nighttime driving later, which is not the goal, but 0 sugar. Interesting. So it's just this weird random location to try to stop and rest in, huh? So it's literally just park in the middle of nowhere here? I don't understand. Where's my trigger point? Why is it not giving me a place to rest? I don't like when it does this stuff. And maybe it's tucked all the way over, so maybe it's more over here. I don't know. Let's see. There we go. Alright. So let's rest. See when we're done. Alright, so there we go. And then Sabrina made some money too. So now 4,700. So again, I think that's what was happening, is my drivers that are out there were still doing well. Let me just quickly look at what we've got. And again, I'm kind of doing the best, but they're all positive, which is good. And so Robert has got what? He's on duty. He's on the road. Why is it not showing me? I thought I could easily... Oh, finishes in 8 hours. There it is. And obviously she just delivered but picked something right up, but she's got 64 hours, so she's got a long way to go. But hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you have, please drop a like and give me some comments too. I always love engaging with folks that are watching and just chatting with you as much as we can. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider that as well. And I will see you next time.